Replace old beliefs with the life-first definition of money that lowers anxiety. In the last video, you saw why smart, hardworking people stay stuck with money even when income rises. It isn't a character flaw, it's architecture. If you keep the same definitions, you will keep the same decisions. So before we touch numbers again, we're going to rewrite the definition of money you've been using, quietly, in the background, for years. This one shift will make every later choice easier. What to spend on, which expenses to trim, which income moves to prioritize, how to invest, and how to protect. When the definition changes, the direction changes. Here's the definition I want you to try on for size. Money is a tool. Money is value exchange. Money is energy. 3 lenses, 1 outcome, a life you actually recognize when you look 5 years ahead. This is not theory for theory's sake. It is a control panel. You will use the tool lens when you decide how to spend this week, the value lens when you carve your next income move, and the energy lens when you redirect leaks toward buffers and compounding. If you've read my book, you'll notice how these lenses sit naturally under the 4 pillars: expenses, income, investment, protection, and pull them into a single, calm system. Let's start with money as a tool. Think of a tool you use daily: a pressure cooker, a phone, a screwdriver. A tool doesn't judge, it obeys intention. Money, used as a tool, buys time, creates flexibility, and builds safety. Time is the first freedom most working professionals lose. Money can buy back 2 hours when you get groceries delivered during a brutal week. It can buy back evenings when you pay for a cleaner instead of arguing your way through chores after a 12-hour day. It buys mental space when you can say no to a toxic project because an emergency fund exists. Flexibility is the adult version of freedom. Money lets you take a lateral move to learn a skill, switch cities without panic, or fund a short course that opens a new path. Safety is what keeps progress from evaporating at the first shock. Proper health cover, a term plan, and a modest emergency fund turn a crisis into an inconvenience. When you hold money as a tool, every rupee has a job description. You stop treating spending like guilt and start treating it like design. Inside our pillar model, this lens cleans up expenses and sets the ground for protection, because tools exist to make your real life work better, not to impress your feed. Now look at money as value exchange. You are not paid for existing, you are paid for solving problems. Income rises when the problem you solve is bigger, affects more people, or is solved in a way that makes you less replaceable. This isn't a motivational poster, it's a map. If your earnings feel capped, it's usually because your current role solves a limited problem for a limited group in a very replaceable way. That's not an insult, it's a starting point. You increase value by stacking skills that change outcomes, then placing those skills where they are recognized and rewarded. Maybe you automate a monthly report that saves your team 30 hours. Maybe you learn to present insights so decisions happen in the room instead of dying in email. Maybe you add a side path, motor insurance distribution, mutual fund distribution, affiliating my programs, or packaging your own expertise that extends your value to more people. In my FFF work, I lean on the ESBI lens because it shows you how value travels from employed to self-employed to business owner to investor in realistic steps instead of fantasy jumps. Inside our pillar model, this is the income pillar working in its proper place, after we control spend leakage and before we try to sprint in investments. Finally, money is energy. It flows where it is respected, tracked, and directed. It leaks where it is ignored. You felt this. That 199 rupees subscription that renewed for the 10th month without being used is energy dripping through a crack. A mood purchase that sits in a drawer is energy that went out, got no work done, and left you with clutter. On the other hand, 1 hour spent consolidating subscriptions, cancelling 3, and bumping your emergency fund by the same amount as energy redirected to your future. When you solve a real problem for your company or your client and negotiate fairly, energy flows in. When you let UPI taps run your day without intention, energy trickles away. This lens explains why a scattered financial life feels exhausting even when the numbers look fine. Energy hates confusion. Clarity is an invitation for flow. And this is precisely where the investment and protection pillars start feeling different. You don't hope money will grow. You direct energy toward goals with dates and buffers that keep that energy from draining at the first shock. Let's make those 3 ideas concrete with scenes you recognize. You are choosing between a cab across town for a 1-hour meeting or pushing for a video call. Tool Lens asks, will this buy me time and energy I need for a better week? You are offered a messy cross-functional project no one wants. Value Lens asks, if I clean this and document it, do I become less replaceable and more valuable, and can I talk about it in review language that lands? You're mid-scroll on a limited time gadget deal. Energy Lens asks, is this leak or flow? Will this return energy next week, or is it a shooting star that burns bright and vanishes? When you start living with these lenses, your inner script changes. Can I afford this? Becomes, what job will this money do? I need to save more. Becomes, where can I increase the value I deliver so income reflects it? I feel broke. Becomes, where is my money energy leaking, and what one rule plugs it today? And because your questions change, your stress score starts falling before your bank balance starts rising. That order matters. Calm is not a reward for wealth, it's a condition that allows you to build it. You might wonder how this connects to decisions like MS, SIPs, and tax saving. MS are neither good nor bad, they're commitments that must serve your life. Tool Lens says, does this ME buy time, flexibility, or safety, or just status? Value Lens says, if this ME reduces my runway, what is my plan to increase the value I deliver so cash flow widens? Energy Lens says, am I opening a flow that feeds my future or a leak that forces me to work harder for the same calm? SIPs are not virtue by default, they are energy directed toward a goal with a time horizon. Without the time box, your SIP is a number that can't reassure you. Tax saving is not a product you buy in March, it's a byproduct of a system that you design in April. When the lenses sit on your eyes, the 4 pillars stop fighting. Expenses become intentional, income becomes a design project, investments become goal-matched, and protection stops being an afterthought. A quick story from my own practice to anchor this. A client with a solid salary and constant stress had 5 subscriptions, 2 cards carrying forward, and 3 SIPs started. To be responsible, we didn't add a single new product. We changed definitions. Tool Lens bought back 2 evenings a week by paying for help and saying no to low-value tasks, which ironically freed the attention to renegotiate project scope at work. Value Lens turned a messy quarterly process into a documented flow the entire team adopted. His review language changed from hard worker to improves outcomes. Energy Lens cancelled 3 leaks, redirected the same rupees into the emergency fund, and labeled the SIPs by time horizon so they could silence panic during volatility. His stress score fell before his net worth moved much. 6 months later, both had shifted. Now I want you to feel this definition in your own hands. Open your workbook. On a fresh line, write a simple sentence that begins with, until now, money meant, blank, don't prettify it. Write the word your brain actually uses, salary, bills, MS, uncertainty, freedom sometimes, fear often. If multiple words show up, capture them. This is your old operating system, and it has done its job so far. Thank it, and put it down honestly. Next, on the very next line, write, from today, I want money to help me, blank, finish that sentence with something real and specific to your season. Buy back evenings so I am not a stranger at home. Reduce panic so I stop bargaining with sleep. Choose projects I am proud of without fear. Protect my parents' health without spreadsheets and guilt. Create options for my kids without selling my hours forever. Keep it human, the system will translate human into numbers soon enough. Read those 2 sentences out loud if you can. Notice what changed. In 2 lines, you just moved money from a judge to an assistant. You don't need motivation to make the next decision with these lenses, you need 5 seconds to ask the right question. And once you ask the right question, the EDL work we'll do tomorrow stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like precision. The income paths on day 3 stop feeling like risky detours and start feeling like designed experiments. The protection pieces, term, health, buffers, stop feeling like fear purchases and start feeling like intelligent defense of the life you actually want. One last reassurance. You don't have to nail this definition perfectly today. You have to use it imperfectly, consistently. That's how the stress score comes down and stays down. It's how the 4 pillars grow sturdy. It's how the next 5 years stop looking like the last 5. In the next module, we'll take a clear, non-scary snapshot of your current position, income and assets first, so your new definition has a real map to work with. Numbers don't need shame, they need context. Bring your pen, open your banking app if you want, and keep your honesty. 10 minutes from now, you'll know exactly where you stand without drowning in decimals, and you'll feel, for the first time in a while, that this is manageable.